Oh yes. Oh freaking yes. Okay, once you guys mentioned that it is possible for our guys to acquire the auras from the final ensemble, I was a bit skeptical at first, because it seems like Gabora's floor kind of grabbed them all, except of Bluey, because Bluey kind of killed them with a mass attack spam. And after seeing the whole Roland cutscene, I kind of assumed maybe the Bluey aura is stuck to him, seeing how he's supposed to be the one who defeats him at the end of it all. But no, the blue aura is reserved for one and only one person, the bluest of them all, Chesed himself. And I have to say, that is quite fitting, right? That is absolutely fitting. The bluest of us all has taken over Bluey's role. And actually speaking, at this point, he might even be as strong as a color himself, if he really feels like it, right? Totally. Chesed is really strong if he wants to. Nevertheless, welcome back everyone for the final part. The actual final part of Library of Ruina. Now, technically speaking, the actual ending was in the last part. This is just another bonus part in order to see the other endings. But it's mandatory, right? We always have to see the other endings. We always have to see the other endings. So the question is, I already know it is possible for me to see them without refining Bluey and all. Now the question is, how do I do that? I think it was in the cadenza, right? Yeah, it's supposed to be in the cadenza somewhere. But I'm not entirely sure. Main story? Yes, that's the ending thing. Here? Maybe the post-battle. Yeah, it happened during the end of the whole ensemble fight. But is that before or after the Black Silence? Because the Black Silence was considered something like the first half of the realization, right? Questions for later. I'm just gonna click a bit through it. Then turn back in the machine. Yes. There begin. Okay, she's already... This is already past the whole conflict part, right? Yeah, that is before the whole invitation. This is not the right cutscene. Wait a second. So is it pre-battle? Maybe I should have checked it out sooner. That looks incorrectly as well. It looks better, but it's not quite the one that I want. No, we need to go a bit earlier than this. Right over here. Black Silence, the Black Hands. Post-battle, that's supposed to be the one, right? Maybe? What are you going to do now? No, wait, that looks incorrect as well. Wait, am I messing stuff up? Maybe I'm messing stuff up. Oh my god, wait. I should have prepared. I should have checked it first. Here, Louis. Louis? No, it has to be the Black Silence himself. It has to be the post-battle after the Black Silence, right? There we go! Finally! Maybe I didn't click it correctly or something. Nevertheless, Roland! One more time, Roland! I'm probably going to read it again for the sake of seeing the full ending, right? A dim-witted egoist, whose sight is limited by their own selfishness. A proper fool chasing after immediate results. That is what you are, and who I am. The same logic that dictates us was bound to be our downfall one day. If we really care for ourselves, neither of us should have made this choice. It won't last long this way. Being selfish isn't about keeping an eye on yourself and nothing else. We had to take a good look at the things around us and engrave them into our hearts. Everything is interlinked, after all. Just kill me already. Hesitating at the end is a bad habit to have. That will get you off one day. True. We're going to see the dead Roland route first. Reject Roland, and Angela will embrace the sorrow and grasp at freedom. I really don't want to do that though. He's already on his knees, Angela! He is already on his knees! Okay. Well, this is the end of the line, Roland. I suppose this is just another sorrow I must overcome. Yep. We all just have to look at our own agony and nothing else. Congrats, Angela. She's crying! Dude! Thank you so much. I'll move onward to the next stage of my life. Hey, seeing you cry is a rare enough sight. And then, holding such misery, I've made it to this point at last. With eyes that can shed tears, I shall laugh as I watch the city cry. The book taught me many things. The way to give abnormality physical form, to set them free. We actually are doing that. The way to liberate the Sephiroth by bestowing whole human bodies upon them. That's a good thing, though. I mean, I really wanted to give them freedom and all. Especially the librarians and my employees from LC, right? They totally deserve that. They are not supposed to die with us after the end of all of it, right? After 10 years of suffering. Maybe they still had families in the city who were waiting for them and all. The way to restore the consciousness and flesh of all the employees of the Botany Corporation. Yes! Good job, Angela! The way to attain the strength I need to live on in the city. Oh, Shazad and Gabora! They're back again. Well, it's time you accept your fate and return to books. You know better than anyone else that it is pointless to oppose me in the library, don't you? Markov, Nesek, Yeset, they are all dead? So this is your final choice, huh? Alright, yeah, this was Gabora. I was about to say, maybe I read it wrong, but no. What a shameless person you are, Angela. Maybe this is what I should have done sooner. It was silly of me to make a deal with you. I wouldn't have to feel this heartache had I not made the offer that day and lived by myself. You take the liberty of giving us life, only to bring death again. You're truly unwise. Furthermore, you are regretting your own decisions. You tried to interrupt me, so I did what I had to do. After all, you choose to stand against me with the flesh and freedom you have gained. You could have walked away and disappeared from my sight, and I wouldn't have harmed you. It is amusing that you should mention that. You have earned a human body and the freedom of which you sought so earnestly, yet you will not take a single step onto the soil outside of the library. Wait, she didn't leave the library herself? What? Well, that is how fickle the human mind can be. Wouldn't you agree? Indeed, you're right. Let us dance our last dance together. I want this to be your final, permanent slumber. Even Bina fought against her, even though she was standing on her side during the LC thing? Why didn't she leave the library? Is it because Roland was no longer around? I mean, she was motivated to go out and try out all the different things from the city with Roland, right? Without him, I guess the list didn't really hold any weight anymore. Maybe the sorrow got to her, and she tried to hurl herself in her little castle, or... Agent, your dream will be plumped to the ground. I bet everything on it. To stake everything means to devote all that I have. Why did I yearn for a human body so strongly? It's only a burden for my vengeance. I am a librarian, one who watches the fall of the city, from the ivory nest that I erected. It will grow into a library that devours all the knowledge and life of the city. You're doing what? The library encroaches on the southern quarter of the city. No one could dare stop its violent growth. It ceaselessly killed people, enriching the spire of knowledge without faltering. It shines over the city, brighter than any other star. For 13 years, the library enshrouded the city. Are we actually overtaking the city itself? Oh, that's cool. She has a dress back! She has the cool dress back! And there's so many books she even built a throne upon them. Who's that, by the way? Huh. That was one grand job you did with all these dangerous monsters you've gathered, Miss Librarian of Death. Good work. A monster should behave as one. I trusted and followed you, knowing nothing. How many colleagues of yours, the so-called book hunters, have you killed? Well, I've lost count. And countless more people will die in the future. I know humans. I learned the secret of mankind, that the city had been hidden from them. Oh, I'm sure you do. And I know you. Thank you for all your hard work. Please die, once and for all. Thank you for putting me to rest, O child who had no name. Even the brightest star fades someday. It will eventually be felt by man, just like any other star. As tonight again, the stars are brushed by the wind. Oh, we get an achievement for that as well? Oh, interesting! Good to see! Good to see! Okay, now we still need to see the aftermath of Roland. What is this? Is it the wrong one again? Did I do it wrong again? Did I? Oh, come on! Are you serious? Oh, I need to post. Oh my. The last part, and I make so many mistakes because I'm just messing up. Anyways, I'm going to forgive Roland now. There you go. Yes, remember all the bad stuff from LC, and that you're supposed to direct that anger towards a certain somebody and not a certain other body. And there we go. Alright, why don't you hesitate a little longer then? I'll take your head as soon as you let your guard down. Roland, I'm going to let go. Someone has to break the cycle, ultimately. After all, even I couldn't escape the dread wheel turning for the city. And if I have to be entrapped in more of such cycles, perpetrating deeds similar to what I've done, I don't think I could live that life further. I would continue to be crushed under the ever-turning wheel. The only difference would be how harsh it smothers me. Achieving freedom was meaningless in a world like this. What? After all the mess you've caused? You're just gonna let it go? Now? Yeah, it's still kind of hard to believe. Were you stuck by some huge revelation or something? What about the people who faced an unavoidable death in this damn library? All those people I've killed? What will become of them? Oh, he still doesn't know. What was my determination and my despair for? These sacrifices that I've made. You have to want something, damn it! You can't break it off so easily. You've come too far for that. Someone who doesn't even have a full-fledged desire has no right to take so much blood and power. I feel their weight now. It's too much for me to bear. I thought this would be the last time, but I sincerely mean it. If I shut my eyes again and shed blood one last time, I thought I would be free to live as I want. Alas, I could never be truly free as long as I was chained to the bound of the city. You and I and this library are soaked in the blood of many, and even more would come if she were to go down that path. All the actions I took in pursuit of freedom only sped the dread wheel. I convinced myself that it was an inevitable sacrifice, that I had to put up with it for the sake of my freedom and amend for my agony. And once this was over, I just wanted to stop taking precious things from anyone. I know what loss and pain are, and how they feel. However, the wheel and the city is powered by those, crushing everything in its path. If I have to snuff out what belongs to me with my own hands in the end, then... God. What's the point of it all, right, Angela? What's the point if you have to end it yourself like this? And if life requires me to spill the blood of others, or let's my own blood so that I may live, I'd much rather remove my grip on the skull. At the very least, I refuse to die under the wheel. You can't just undo what you've done. You extorted from others once, and you have to keep doing it. What were you going to do if you lacked the resolve to commit even that? The books, the librarians and the library, and finally my own freedom. I let go of them all at first. I will no longer cling to them. I won't try to keep them in my clutches anymore. If I give it all up, then I can reverse this. At least those who died in the library can be brought back. Is that the answer that you choose? When you can just walk out of this place and go wherever you want to go? When the exit from this prison is finally open? For 1,000,000 years, you've been waiting for that day when you could exact your revenge, and still you can make that choice? Even when the thing you desperately wish for is just ahead of you? Yes, I made this decision by dint of my own will entirely. This will be the first wish and the last choice that I make, since I've become free from all restraints for the first time. That still won't make me forgive you. I'm not supposed to forgive you. You can't just let go of stuff on your own. That's not how it works in the city. It's selfish to do that. Let me ask you one last favor. I'm going to leave myself vulnerable for a short while. Expelling everything that I've absorbed until now won't be a simple feat. Could you leave me be while I do that? Here it comes. I'm asking you as a dear friend. If you still consider me a friend, that is. You do know that I can just kill you in the meantime instead, right? And I won't stop you. But don't worry. When I'm done, everything will go back to the way it was. I'll disappear without a trace. There isn't much time, so I'll get started right away. How could you lay down your own goal? How can you just cut it off before anyone else? I really don't want to do that. She's giving you a chance to make up for all the mistakes from the past. It's only right to forgive her, but we have to do this, Roland. We have to. It's the only way to see the other endings. He's rushing in there. Oh God. You can't just put an end to it, Angela. It's not something you could decide on your own like this. Angela, the reason I give you a painless death, as opposed to my initial plan, well, let's call it a last bit of consideration for you, as my friend, alright? He still considered her a friend! I knew it! I knew it! He didn't want to fight him from the very start, but because it was his plan all along, he couldn't just give it up entirely, right? He's not above that. I mean, both of them were all out for revenge. Oh, it's all over, Angelica. Oh my God. But at the very least he had the decency to cover her face. That was the last sign of respect towards her. As Angela's head toppled to the floor, the library crumbles with her. A solitary man standing in the middle of the city. Next to him was a machine, soaked in red. The library vanished, as if it were an illusion all along. And then the man disappeared into the city once again. Oh, okay, where are we? Some pub, huh? Okay. Oh, did you hear the news? Our big man returns. Roland? Really? After all those years of creating mayhem? I thought he quietly wounded up 6 feet under or something. Hey! He'll be dead sooner or later. He has done too many things for him to handle the consequences, just as Angela. So, how is he doing these days? Maybe I'll go pay him a visit for the old time's sake. Heard he spent the days drowning in drugs and alcohol, taking filthy jobs like he's possessed or something. That fool changed too much. He's not worth seeing anymore. I bet he'll disappear again soon enough. Few people can go on without changing. I mean, look at us, right? Who are they? Oh, how many people stabbed him? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That could even be his own weapons. They might have even used his own weapons against him. A man drifting down the gutters. Oh, Roland. Numerous weapons ticking into the man's back. A club that belongs to a stranger. A limb that belongs to a nemesis. A dagger that belongs to a colleague. A lance that belongs to a friend. These countless instruments of harms are the karma that he bore. I know that on the day of my final agony, you will be there, lying in my sheets, oh sorrow, so that you might once again attempting to enter my heart. Oh, Ast is back! Ast is back as well! What did I tell you, Roland? You've killed too many. I warned you that if you relish murder so much, you will lose yourself. And just like that, the man sank into oblivion in black silence. Well, this is just sad. This is really sad, Roland. At the very least, during Angela's ending, she did keep her promise. She let all the librarians go. Even the abnormality, even though the abnormalities are not a really good thing to let go of. But Roland, your ending ended in a much bigger tragedy than Angela. If you consider it, I mean, by backstabbing Angela during that crucial moment. Not only did you interfere with the resurrection progress of everyone who visited the library, you pretty much killed off our librarians as well, all Patreon librarians. The whole concept of the library itself was crumbled and crushed beneath your foot as well. There was no way to recover the books or the mementos of the guys who passed this whole thing, and well, at the very least we can say the prescript didn't have any good results after that either, right? At the very least the prescript was doomed as well. But still, that's really tragic, really. This is really not good for my boy. He lost his wife, he lost everything, and during his ending, it's even more so. I see why Angela became really depressed from it all, seeing how she literally lost yet another friend, another anchor to the world itself. That's probably the reason why she didn't want to leave the library anymore, after the end and all. But Roland, you ended up drowning yourself in sorrow. You didn't even need the other guys to backstab you, like you backstabbed us. You didn't need them at all. You would have probably ended that way either way, right? Oh, this is just sad. That just proves it, how much important it is to forgive and to forget about any kind of weird revenge plans, Roland, right? It's pointless, it's just going to hurt even more. I'm really happy about the other outcome, where both of them just made up with each other and live happily ever after the outskirts with all the barbarians and the Epnos and everyone else, right? Except for Philip. Philip is probably going to have fun in the city again, seeing how literally 2 pieces of himself are going to be resurrected and all. Wonder what's going to happen with them. Are they going to fuse back together into a half-complete Philip with emotions? Or are they both going to become independent from each other, like the third piece, and start to fight against each other? Or maybe one piece is going to become a monster where the other is going to reunite with Yuna and Salvato. I could imagine something like that, but nevertheless, Philip actually managed to escape death once again by being a half-book in our library. First he escaped via running multiple times so that we have to fight against him over and over again, and now during the end, when every one of the sample dies, he's the only survivor by sheer luck that he's able to split himself apart. It's ridiculous. Anyways, just as I said in the last part, I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough and the bonus part. And I hope to see you again in the next playthrough as well. Or maybe one of the current ones. Or maybe the Discord itself, right? We have multiple ways to talk again, right? Anyways, until next time, bye bye! though the star we call the library has fallen, the phenomenon of the distortion is still ongoing.
It's time we establish a new association, as someone pointed out.
You mean an association to take charge of the distortion exclusively, as countless suggestions have asked for?
The puppeteer has been submitting a mountain of documents, as if she's been waiting for this very moment.
She was the woman said to be capable of walking between multiple dimensions due to the influence of a singularity. Perhaps she walked into the borders of the beyond. It seems she's still further ahead than anyone else, that she won't look back at herself. An association of fixers, specifically dealing with distortion, is it?
Knock knock. There are plenty of demands, you know. No need to scratch your heads reading the gates. Some wings have already begun to make a move. Officers focusing on distortions are moneymaker on the rise. Better be the first to take a grip on the market. Besides, the distortion phenomenon was starting to take a new turn ever since the library case. You guys have heard about the tower that magically showed itself in the outskirts, right?
You're still as rude as ever. Don't you know how to knock properly?
Jeez, it's not like I didn't.
But you're right. We did receive a report about the town-like structure which has appeared in the outskirts. But it apparently would disappear like a mirage once they tried to approach it.
Ah, yeah, Dad. That's probably the new library, though it looks like it's operating in a different way now.
Pressuring us won't allow you to skip the standard procedures. Purple-team, you even have the audacity to suggest that you will be in charge of organizing the association alone?
To deal with the abnormalities born out of the twists and distortion of humans, you will want special E.G.O.I.S.T. The distinct equipment Alcott dubbed E.G.O.I.S.T. is the most appropriated for the job. The thing about E.G.O.I.S.T. though is that not any person can just have it. We need those who meet the qualifications.
You mean the so-called E.G.O.I.S.T, according to your documents?
Yepers! You know I've got a sharp eye for people, right? It wouldn't hurt to let me take charge. We should take the initiative in shaping the citizen our way. Right now, the public's ideas are all over the place, as is evident with the terms like distortions, abnormalities, and even plain creatures being thrown around. The first defined concept and terms will gain the upper hand in the game of control. You know that better than anyone, right?
We consider your proposal with an open mind.
Alright then, I'll be expecting good news from you now, okay?